Sorry, I'm a minute late, guys. I was having a retrograde moment, of course. Such is life, right? Especially when, if you did not know, we are definitely in the Mercury shadow period, the last one of 2023, which, of course, also goes right into the beginning of 2024. So definitely everybody buckle up and get ready for that one. Definitely plan a lot, not live, but definitely a information video going up for that. Tomorrow morning, I'll be posting a link for that everywhere in case, for whatever reason, you miss it here on YouTube. And forgive me for just a moment while I get some music started up because I definitely need music. And of course, it looks like my kids have been playing with my Pandora lately, of course. So let's change it from Disney. Don't get me wrong, love Disney as much as the next guy, but need something a little more open, I guess is the best way to describe it. But there we go. Now that I've got that in gear, but back to the retrograde and how it's going to be going into our lovely 2024 and, playing havoc with our winter holidays. Are we all excited? You know you are. But it is going to start December 13th, go to January 1st, and going through the Capricorn and Sagittarius signs. And again, more on that later. Tonight, we're actually worried more about, like the title says, the live oracle and tarot readings that, supposed to be doing every Thursday at 9. So if you are a first-time joiner, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've been here a couple of times, glad you were able to join. If you've joined me on my Facebook Lives that are Monday and Fridays at 6 p.m., glad you were willing to jump into the other channel. Definitely appreciate the support. And in the event that you do not somehow know about my Facebook page, it is now in the links. So all you have to do is just click that link and definitely make sure that you follow, because that's how you can find out all the information about what I'm doing in my readings, in my personal life, how all the things roll, how to get a booking done, whether it be in person or virtual. What else? Oh, and I know I've said this in previous videos, but I am sorry that I keep on neglecting this. It's interesting trying to juggle all the things. No joke. Interesting trying to juggle all the things. But if you would like a reading tonight, I will be doing readings from now until 10 p.m. my time, so for the next hour or so. And if you look in the description, you will see that all readings are $15. That will be a 15-minute reading for you where we answer everything from career, love life, how to handle the retrograde, any suggestions on how to handle your 2024, all the things. And those can be done through Cashapp or Venmo, so definitely don't be afraid to, sorry, I'm trying to take care of that light the best I can, but it looks like we're kind of pretty well stuck with it, so I'll just kind of scoot this way a little bit so it's a little less killer on your retinas, because I know that just from the reflection in my camera, it's definitely kind of making my left eye go a little, but I'll be taking personal readings. I'll be doing a few open readings, and definitely bear with me, but until we get more subscribers on the channel, I am unfortunately stuck using my computer, so bear with me the best you can, and we will definitely do everything in our power to make sure that this is still an enjoyable experience for everyone. And yeah, definitely don't mind the elf by my plants. We're doing the elf on a shelf thing here at my house. Even though I don't celebrate Christmas, I celebrate the solstice, but little things that make our kids happy, right? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Well, if you would like a reading about your professional path, I'm happy to do one. It is $15, and that is payable through Cash App or Venmo. You can find the tag in the description. And I will grab this, so as soon as I see the notification that the payment's gone through, I will gladly get the reading done for you. But if you would like a single card reading, I do occasionally do those, and those are only $3 each. And I'm guessing Mr. Firmino, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, didn't like that I don't do free readings. I am sorry, but in the event that we do have future people with the same issue, tarot reading and any other oracle, tarot, crystal, pyromancy, whatever kind of reading you get, it is a service. And while I am sure that there are readers that do free readings out there, I value my time that I've spent learning my craft. You wouldn't just give a mechanic a thank you for fixing your car, right? He took time to learn his craft. I took time to learn mine. But until we have people that would like a reading, I am going to apologize for the glare that's about to be in everyone's eyeballs while I turn a little bit to get some cards together. And in the event that anyone would like to know the decks that I have with me tonight, I do have my tried and true tarot cards. I've got, as far as an oracle card set, I've got Shapeshifter deck, which is really good for a lot of your more proactive advice, I guess is the best way to describe it, in case you want something a little more on the physical plane advice versus spiritual. My Moonology deck is pretty good for both your spiritual and your more mundane, for lack of a better way to describe it, questions. In case you're more on the spiritual questioning side tonight, I do have my Goddess deck, which is a lot of different feminine divine energies ranging anywhere from Rhiannon to Ishtar, Bastet, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. So don't worry, it's not just our crazy witch type. It's pretty much every feminine divine energy out there. I also have my Spirit Mama deck, which is another good one for your more spiritual questions. And last but absolutely not least, I also have my two Lenormand decks. One is strictly Lenormand, and one's called a Gypsy Witch deck, which is essentially a Lenormand deck. If you have never heard of a Lenormand deck, they are very much like Oracle and Tarot cards, just a little more direct than Tarot cards, but way more in depth than Oracle cards. And the spreads for those are definitely also really interesting to play with. And I imagine just because I love to play with them, I'll be probably demonstrating those as well tonight. I guess for our first open read, I did list love readings, career readings, and 2024 readings in my description. So I'm thinking just for giggles and to get a quick open read out there, we are going to use, you know what, because I did mention the Lenormand deck, let's grab the, no offense to my Gypsy Witch deck, but the prettier deck, and do an open reading for a moon sign. And in case you're wondering why I do moon signs over sun signs, it's for a very special reason. Your sun sign is essentially your stem cell. It's the first part of yourself. It's your building block and where you started as far as your personality. Your moon sign, however, is so much more important on so many levels. The biggest one being, not only does it process your emotions, but it's how you process the world around you. And if you are unsure of your moon sign for whatever reason, feel free to hit me up either here or on the Facebook link. And I do offer very, very in-depth, very easy to read birth charts for $15 for a PDF copy. You send me your birth day, time, and location, and I can usually have that flipped around within 24 hours. $15 for the PDF copy again, and same thing, if you would like a copy, you can pay through Cashapp or Venmo using the MysticMnMadness tag. But to start off our open love reading, we're going to check out a moon sign here. And I'm actually very lucky that I have a dice with all the different zodiac signs on it. So I don't have to worry about playing favorites. But we are going to be looking at the 2024 love life for... All right, so if your moon is in Leo, we're going to be looking at your 2024 love life. And remember, that's your moon in Leo, not your sun. If your moon is in Leo, let's check you out. So if your moon is in Leo, let's check out how you are as a person right now. And if you notice, I'm not sure if you can quite tell from your standpoint, but I don't ever pull from the deck. I only ever grab the jumpers because those always give me my most honest message. All right. So we got our moon in Leo as a person. And let's check out their current love situation. Well, that was easy. Okay. And let's check out their future. What is the future of their love life? All right. Well, we now have our cards out for our moon in Leo person and their 2024 love life. So let's turn this around real quick. All right, so kind of bear with me a little bit because it's definitely been a minute since I've used my computer to help me do the readings. All right, so this first row up here is who they are as a person right now. And the second row down here is how their love life currently is. And this bottom is essentially their forecast. And we're going to read over each of these row by row. But tonight I think I'm going to take a step further and also go column by column. And believe it or not, but we can also actually go across to get even more information about our moon in Leo person and their 2024 love life. So, yeah, we're just going to scoot over this way again a little bit here. And actually, give me a minute while I try and move that lamp because it's going to drive us both crazy. Looks like I'm just a little hung up here. There we go. All right, that's not much better. Well, I can at least turn the camera a little more so that it's not as much in everybody's. All right, well, that's actually a little bit better. It's not going to help us too much over this way, but there we go. At least make sure I can actually see my cards and illuminate those a little bit better. But definitely forgive me, new environment, so lighting's going to be definitely a little tricky to make sure that it's always equal and not killing everybody. But let's grab this first row right here with our moon and Leo person. and kind of check out how they are as a person right now. Now, what we have right now is a tree of life mixed in with an upside down compass, but also an upside down letter. So it looks like this person is definitely working on their spiritual path. The problem with this, though, is they are working on their spiritual path and giving themselves good, solid roots to work off of, but they have no real direction, and they're refusing to communicate that direction. So that alone, I'm not going to lie, is definitely looking like, even without even looking at the other rows, my moon in Leo person, it looks like even that alone is definitely going to cause some troubles with your love life because, like I said, it's great that you are working on your spiritual side and your roots and trying to give yourself a good, solid foundation. That is wonderful, but you need to give yourself a direction on where you want to go with those roots. Why do you want to have those roots? Why do you want to work on your spirituality? Why are you wanting to ensure that you are better? Is it because people are telling you, oh, you need to be more spiritual? Is it because people are telling you that you need to start giving yourself a solid foundation? Or is it because it's something you want? And with that letter card, it's looking like the retrograde is even causing you to have a little bit of havoc on how to properly communicate those wants and those needs. So I would not be shocked if your sun or your rising sign is probably a Gemini, or perhaps even another air sign like Libra, which is all about communication and making sure that your voices are heard. So as far as where this person is in their love life right now, that's the second row that we were looking at. We've got an actually very interesting combination here because we have the Labyrinth card, but we also have my male and female card. This can mean one of a couple of things. I'm leaning more towards our Moon and Leo person is very indecisive right now between two vastly different people. And they're having a hard time finding out what direction they want to take with these people. Or it's very possible that instead of being lost as far as which direction they want to go with two people, it's possible that they're in a relationship right now and they're just not sure on what direction that relationship is headed. I'm kind of leaning more towards that one because of our next set of cards. Because remember how I said that our Moon and Leo person has a definite issue with communication and having a direction? Well, thanks to that issue with communication and a lack of direction, they have a lot of obstacles that they are not truly seeing for what they are. And it's not that they don't see the obstacles as mountains over molehills. I'm thinking that in this case, they're not seeing the obstacle in any level. They're thinking that either everything is honky-dory and fine, or just seeing the obstacle but pretending it's not really an issue, that it's not really affecting that relationship. But I have a feeling that once they finally choose a direction, they're actually going to see not only the obstacles that are underlying in the relationship, but they're going to find the key to that deception, whether it be self-deception or even possibly deception of the partner, causing them to be confused on which way the direction is going, to not be able to communicate, to not be able to find that direction for themselves. The reason I say that is because even right now, remember how I said we're going to kind of dive a little deeper in this than I typically would. The reason I say that it's possible, whether it's self-deception or deception of the partner with this snake card here, is because in this first row, it's more or less their current as far as themselves as a whole. Because they've always wanted those roots. They've always wanted that solid foundation. But they've always had a hard time getting through the twists and turns and really seeing what their true issue is with the Labyrinth card and the Upside Down Mountain card. And presently, as a whole, their lack of direction. And I want to say that if our person that we're reading for isn't female, they are very, very feminine based energy, because our female card is actually our central card. And a lot of times that's also going to be ending up the signifier of the entire reading itself. But as a whole, that lack of direction with themselves, once they find that direction, they're going to find the key to everything that they have been trying so hard to fix and be successful in. But until they find the way to communicate with their partner, deception will always linger. And always, always, always remember that anytime I ever do a reading, if you see a male and female card, that does not necessarily mean a genetically male or female person, or a cis male or female person, if you will. It just typically means the energy of that person, because I have seen very nurturing men in my life that have been fully straight, so you don't have to worry about it being anything about your sexuality or even about anything other than just that is your energy. And I've seen some women that are very aggressive and very combative, which would be a more masculine energy, without being, again, a lesbian. So it's more or less, again, just the energy of the person, not necessarily their sexuality or even their actual physical gender. But our Moon and Leo person, it definitely looks like you need to find a direction and start working on that communication in order to be able to change those cards for your 2024. Because my biggest worry right now is that you choose not to find a direction, and that you choose not to really see the obstacles in your path in your relationship for what they are, so that you can end the deception. So Moon and Leo, my heart goes out to you, but make sure that you are working on that sooner rather than later. Because you will find that the roots that you're trying to put down in the spirituality you're trying to find is a self-deception in itself. And you will also find that that lack of communication is going to cause those underlying issues to be even bigger, to the point that you can't ignore them anymore. Whew. But that, darlings, was a Lenormand reading. And I would definitely say that our buddy Mr. Firmino, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, who knows, because I haven't gotten any notifications yet, I would definitely say that Mr. Firmino probably decided not to take me up on my offer about doing a reading for his professional life, which is truly a shame, because for all he knows, his professional path could be on a huge upswing, or he could be falling on his face very, very, very soon. But I guess for right now, let's do some single card readings. Excuse me a moment, because while double checking that I didn't miss a payment and have been very, very rude this whole time, there seems to be an issue with the Venmo account. So definitely backtrack, Cashapp only if anyone would like a reading. Well, guys, it definitely looks like I'm going to have to get a hold of Venmo and ask them what's going on. Because no reason I can find for it to be suspended. Well, so I'm definitely sorry that I wasted a few minutes on when I could have been doing open readings for that. So definitely going to make sure that I look into that later, because that's going to be really awkward for my event this Saturday at Kwanzaa Hut in Canton, where I will be offering not only readings but also some items for the holiday season. But like I said, let's jump into some single card readings, and I'm actually going to be I'll wait a little bit for that one, but definitely at the end of tonight's session, I'm thinking about doing something that I don't typically do, which is a single card reading for all the signs. Sorry, making sure that I get rid of some windows so I don't accidentally kill my battery while I'm about it, because that would be awkward. But again, any astrology signs that I do readings for, those are typically always going to be for your moon sign and not your sun sign. But let's do an open reading for another moon sign. And I'm thinking this time we're going to do a obstacle, hindrance, outcome for someone's 2024. And we're going to see what moon sign we're going to be looking at. And we'll be using the Shapeshifter deck to do the obstacle, hindrance, and outcome of 2024 for this moon sign. All right, so moon in Taurus. If your moon is in Taurus, let's check out what your biggest obstacle is going to be for 2024, what's going to hinder you, and what's going to help you. Let's see what we got here. Moon in Taurus. And what's going to hinder you, and what's going to help you. All right. And as you guys will notice, in case you're new to my readings, I do upright and reversal for pretty much any deck, because I feel like if it's popping out in reverse, there is a reason for it, there is a meaning behind it, and there is a purpose for reverse cards, whether it be tarot, oracle, or any other. But without further ado, let's check out the obstacle, hindrance, and outcome for our moon and Taurus people. So for our moon and Taurus people, it looks like we have two obstacles that are definitely going to be kind of kicking us in the tail a little bit. I say us because unfortunately I'm one of those moon and Taurus people. We have the Delicate Fairy and her ferrets, and Mermaid in a Koi Pond for our obstacle cards. For our hindrance, we have an upside down, a time to say goodbye. And for our helper, again, upside down, Alice in a Sea of Tears. So let's look over those real quick and see what we're looking at for our moon and Taurus people and our biggest obstacle for 2024. And this one actually kind of makes me laugh a little bit, and I'll tell you why here in a second, because with the Delicate Fairy and her ferrets, it says change is natural, good, and yes, it can hurt. So that's telling me that we're definitely going to be looking at a lot of crazy, almost tower moment changes in our lives over the next 2024. And we're not going to be the biggest fan of a lot of those changes. Those changes are going to hurt. But it looks like part of those changes are really going to be changing things fundamentally in ourselves, because mermaid in a koi pond, rediscover your individuality, become the dragon. We're going to find a new level of inner strength in ourselves and a new sense of power in ourselves. Now, the reason why I kind of laugh a little bit at how that's an obstacle is because typically I love change. I love things moving forward and watching things grow and change. Whether it's really, really good or really, really bad, I enjoy the change because that lets me know that life is still moving forward. We're not stuck in a loop and stuck trying to find out what that lesson is. But the fact that that's my biggest obstacle with my other Moon and Taurus people for 2024, gotta say, little nervous, because if you're new to the channel, then you probably haven't seen the past videos where I mentioned that not even 3 months ago, I closed my store down. I've moved. I have completely, in less than 3 months, flipped my life inside out and upside down compared to a year ago. Hell, compared to 6 months ago. It's been, let's just say I took the toy box, I turned it upside down, and I shook the shit out of it. So if I'm looking at more crazy changes, I can see why that would be an obstacle. Because I'm trying to give myself and my children a little more, not necessarily stability, but definitely make the new normal a lot easier to handle. But it looks like our biggest obstacle for our Moon and Taurus people on being able to handle those changes and find that new level of inner power that the delicate fairy interference and the mermaid in a koi pond are telling us about how change is good, but it can hurt. And we need to rediscover our individuality and become the dragon. That upside down, a time to say goodbye. Typically the message is something is about to end for now. So it looks like we're going to have things that are going to need to end. We're going to have things that we're going to need to let go of, but we're not going to. We're going to flat out say, hell no, and keep a hold of it. Now, it's probably going to be harder to find out what that is so that we can move forward, especially if it's those giant moments of change that we are looking at. Then it is probably going to be a lot like, if you know anything about tarot cards, the Ten of Swords, where necessary endings are a thing and they need to happen. So Moon and Taurus people, I'm going to be right there with you, trying to let things go so I can be my best self and overcome that obstacle for 2024. But here's the thing that's going to help us be able to get through those crazy changes, find that individuality and that inner strength that is going to be our obstacle for 2024. The upside down Alice in a Sea of Tears. Typically, her message is cast away out of your depth, feeling abandoned. She came out upside down. That means that we will know that while our lives are being thrown upside down, while we are looking everywhere going, what's next? And probably wanting to find a bunker with all the changes coming, we will know that we will be able to handle them, that we are not alone, that we have great people with us to help us get through those changes. But most importantly, of all those things, we're going to know that we can handle it. That's the thing to remember, is that while we will be doing some crazy, painful changes in 2024 Moon and Taurus, all of us are going to be able to handle it and not alone. We're going to have good people with us. We are going to find our inner dragon and get that new level of strength. But I'm only live for another 20 or so minutes. Unfortunately, because I don't know what's going on with my Venmo, We are stuck to just Cashapp tonight for any readings. So if anyone would like a 15-minute reading, definitely use the Cashapp tag MysticMnMadness in the description. If you would like a single card reading, I offer those for $5. Again, Cashapp MysticMnMadness. And I will take the time to do one more open reading for a moon sign. And I think this one I'm going to do a single card. And we're going to see what this person, as far as their moon sign, needs to either unblock or embody to ensure a better outcome for their relationship. And we're going to be using my goddess deck for this one. So what does this moon sign need to either embody or unblock for their relationship to make it the best they possibly can? And we're looking at moon in Gemini. So if your moon is in Gemini, let's see what you either need to unblock or embody to improve your relationship right now. Because you probably have the best relationship in the world right now. But I think we can always agree that regardless of how perfect the relationship is, there's always room for some level of improvement. Whether it's in ourselves and how we work with our partner, whatever. Alrighty. Well, those just popped out. I was only intending a single card, but Moon in Gemini, it looks like you have some things that you collectively probably need to work on. Let me grab these from the floor here. Alrighty, well, get these in the order that they're supposed to be in. All right, so Moon and Gemini, bear with me. You're probably not going to like my message here. But we have the Green Tara, Sekhmet, and an upside-down Ishtar. Now, let's check out the message together. So typically the Green Tara, her message is start delegating, ask others, including the Green Tara, to help you instead of trying to do everything yourself. Now, along with that, though, you need to balance it with Sekhmet, whose message is be strong. Typically, her message is you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. The thing is you need to be strong enough to start saying, I need help, because it's scary to be vulnerable. And yes, you probably have to ask your partner to help you with things around the house. You've probably asked your partner to help you out with the children, all the easy, mundane things. But have you asked your partner to help you with the less mundane, the things that are closer to home? Have you asked them to help you feel more secure in the relationship? Have you felt secure enough to ask them to help you with a mental issue that you might have been dealing with for a little too long? Have you let them inside? Have you been strong enough to be vulnerable and let them in further than the surface? Because the reason I ask this is our upside down Ishtar, who is usually about boundaries. Usually her message is love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. Your problem, my Moon and Gemini person, when combining with the Green Tara of start delegating and Sekhmet be strong, where the Green Tara is about letting people help you and being strong and that strength assuring a happy outcome. Combine it with this is telling me that your boundaries might be so high that you're afraid to let people in, that you're afraid to ask for help on a deeper level. Moon and Gemini, please help yourself with this, and as scary as it is, be strong enough to let that person in so that your relationship can go to a whole new level that you probably never thought was possible. Because I get it, you've probably been hurt a million times over by past people. But ask yourself, is it fair to assume that your current partner is going to do the same as everybody else? Or should you give them the benefit to show them that they are a different person, that they will be there for you and they will help you? You just need to be strong enough to let them in. You need to be strong enough to let those boundaries down and let that partner be able to help you with more than just making dinner or bringing in the groceries. Let them help you feel secure. Let them help you feel happy. Let them help you be able to look at the things that scare you and help you overcome those fears. But I do only have 15 more minutes. So you guys remember how I mentioned I'm going to do something a little crazy? Well, here's where the crazy comes into play. I definitely always prefer to do these at the end of my lives or at the end of tarot parties, because what I'm about to do is actually combine a couple of my decks. I know, crazy, because you're probably thinking that's a huge reader. No. Actually, believe it or not, some of my best readings have come from combining two oracle decks or combining two tarot decks. Harder to shuffle when it's two tarot decks. I'm not even kidding. But some of the messages I've gotten from combining have been mind-blowing. But in this case, what we're going to do is actually combine the two decks, and I am going to do a 2024 single card reading for all of the moon signs for our 2024 with the Goddess deck and Moonology. So bear with me for a minute while I try and shuffle these guys all together so that they are very well mixed up and everyone can get the message that they need for their moon sign for 2024. Get the message for the moon sign for all of the 2024s. What is one thing that all of our moon signs need to focus on for 2024? Alright, so this one is for Moon in Aries. And let's get Moon in Taurus. Moon in Gemini. Moon in Leo. That one tried to slip right in there. You see this? Move my cards up a little bit here because it looks like we're going to need to do 3 rows of 4 here to make sure we got room for everybody. So we've got Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Oh, and remember how I said I'm probably going to forget somebody? Almost forgot about Gemini, then Cancer. Let's get our Moon in Cancer message. Okay, Moon in Leo. Let's get our Moon in Virgo. All right. And our Moon in Libra. We're going to narrow that one down because I am sorry, Moon in Libra people. I'm limiting all the messages to 1 to 2 cards as far as the biggest thing you need to worry about for 2024 in this live for open readings. But Moon in Libra. Thank you. Moon in Scorpio. And Moon in Sagittarius. And again, we apparently need to narrow that message down a little bit here. So, Moon in Sagittarius. Moon in Capricorn. And Moon in Aquarius. And last but not least, Moon in Pisces. Moon in Pisces. There we are. All right. So let's turn the camera around a little bit here so you guys can at least get a glimpse of these cards before I go over them individually. So we've got Moon in Aries over here with Abundantia and third quarter moon. We've got upside down Yamana for our Moon in Taurus people. Bridget and Guinevere for our Moon in Gemini. For Moon in Cancer, we have Isis and an upside down Seek. For our Moon in Leo, we have an upside down blue moon. For our Moon in Virgo, we have Cardinal Moon. For our Moon in Libra, we have Kuan Yin. For our Moon in Scorpio, we have an upside down full moon in Aquarius. For Moon in Sagittarius, we have new moon in Capricorn. For Moon in Capricorn, we have an upside down new moon in Scorpio. For Moon in Aquarius, we have Sekhmet and Damara. And for Moon in Pisces, we have upside down a star with fertility. So, well, that was a lot of talking. For our Moon in Aries people, remember I said you had Abundantia and third quarter moon. Let's check out those messages. Tarot Destroyer. I'm pretty sure we've had discussions before where if you would like a reading, they are $15 for 15 minutes. But if you'd like to schedule a session, the link is definitely in the top of the comments. But Moon in Aries with your Abundantia, you have prosperity. Her message is typically the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. But we're combining it this time with third quarter moon. Adjustments are going to be required. That's meaning that while you definitely have all the opportunity in the world for your prosperity for 2024, you're definitely going to have to make some adjustments to ensure that that prosperity is either started or maintained. For our Moon in Taurus people, you had an upside down Yamana. I'm sorry. Yeah, Yamanya. Well, typically, her message is golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. And Tarot Destroyer. Swear to God, I love the fact that you are putting in positive comments, but sometimes I really do wonder if you're just a spammer. Appreciate you, but sometimes I wonder. But for our upside down moon and Taurus people, I'm not saying that you don't have important doors opening for you. I am saying that this might be a case where you might need to remember how I said in the other reading, you're going to have to be open to life-changing experiences and making things happen. No, actually, my cards are not from Walmart. And honestly, may sound a little prejudiced, but unless you are heavily bargain shopping, I don't believe you should ever get cards from the same place you get your toilet paper from. But for our Moon and Taurus people, I would say definitely focus on those life-changing things that I mentioned in the other open reading to make sure that we can open these doors. For our Moon and Gemini people, you have a bit of a double hitter yourselves. We have Bridget with Don't Back Down, and we also have Guinevere with True Love. So I'm definitely saying, well, I shouldn't say that I'm definitely getting from this that 2024 is going to bring a huge upheaval for you as far as your love life. And it's definitely going to kind of shake you up a little bit. With our Guinevere and True Love, the romantic strings in your heart are being propelled to deliver great love to you from the universe. But at the same time, I have a feeling that there's probably going to be a little bit of controversy with that great love because you're going to be pushed to either back down from this love or go for it. Good, bad, or indifferent. You're either going to be told to either push forward with it or told to back the hell down. Now, Moon in Cancer for your 2024. We have an Isis with past life, but an upside down Sieg with quiet time. I don't necessarily mean like typically her Isis message of past life is the situation involves your past life memories. I don't necessarily mean reincarnation because we live a few different lives in the one that we're living in right now. So whatever your situation is right now, you're probably living a little too much in the past. And while you may think that you're letting it go, at the same time with Sieg telling you to chill, contemplate, take a moment to meditate, I would definitely say give that a shot and ask yourself, why are you clinging so much to the past? What is going on in your past that you absolutely feel must be focused on for your happiness? For our Moon and Leo people, for your 2024 and what you need to focus on, we have an upside down blue moon. Believe in the impossible. It is very possible that thanks to other portions of your chart that you live too realistically in the now, that you've probably denied yourself a lot of opportunities just because they didn't seem right, or there were all these reasons that were total crap on the why not. So I would definitely say, Moon and Leo people, give yourself just one thing that you want that you think is impossible and find a way to achieve it so that you can start believing in the impossible. For our Moon in Virgo, we've got Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. This is where you're going to start doing something crazy. You're going to step out of your comfort zone. I want you just one time, when it comes to something that you desperately want to happen for your 2024, to step out of your comfort zone, make that move, and go for it. Just one little thing. Doesn't have to be anything huge. It could be something as silly as be bold and make the first move, and instead of letting everybody else get their pizza first at the next corporate meeting, say, you know what? I keep on getting screwed and not getting that really good edge piece of pepperoni pizza because it's always gone already by the time I get up there. Be bold and go get it. Because Moon and Virgo, your time has come. It is time to be bold and go for it. For our Moon in Libra people, we have a right side of Kuan Yin. Typically, her message is compassion. Release judgment about yourself, others, and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Libras, whether you are the moon or sun or rising, nothing against you guys, but typically you guys are pretty judgy. It is time to take down the judgy pants just a little bit. Stop thinking the worst every time you meet a new person. Stop thinking the worst that someone from your past comes in your life thinking that they have not changed. And ask yourself, what is the possibility that they did? What is the possibility that this person that I'm meeting is the best person I have ever met in my entire life? Release those judgments and try and be positive about the possibility that this person is a good person. Moon in Scorpio people. And it looks like we're going into overtime a little bit here. But I will go through all the cards before I jump off here. But Moon in Scorpio people, you have an upside down full moon in Aquarius. Typically the message is show the world the real you. Being upside down, that is telling me that you need to start being authentic. You have put yourself in the shadow for too long. You've hidden yourself, your real self, the person that is underneath for too long. And that is what you need to focus on. You need to focus on breaking out of whatever crazy path you have put yourself on where you don't let anyone see you, and let at least one person, one. I'm not saying let the entire world know all of your crazy food habits. I'm saying just let one person in and let one person see the real you. For our Moon in Sagittarius people, we have New Moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. You need to take some time in 2024 to realize that, yeah, you might have taken an extra break here and there. You might have taken a moment or two extra for vacation. And you probably feel like that's the reason that you didn't make that goal or you didn't achieve whatever special thing you've been trying to achieve. But the thing is just like with anything else, everything happens in its own time. And how much better are you that you took that extra break or that extra week of vacation for not only whatever it is that you're working on, but for yourself and the people around you. So good, bad, or indifferent, you need to accept that the hard work that you are putting in is going somewhere, that it is achieving something. For our Moon in Capricorn people, we have an upside down new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. I'm taking a shot in the dark with this one, but the thing that you need to focus on for your 2024 is ask yourself, honestly, I would say probably the question that I was asking our last open reading. Have you been vulnerable? Much like our Moon in Gemini wasn't with that open reading. Have you been so focused on working through your fears that you've been shutting people out? Have you been so focused on working through your fears that nothing matters anymore? It might be time to let people in. For our Moon and Aquarius people, we have Damara guiding children and Sekhmet be strong. As I mentioned earlier, Sekhmet's message is you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Damara, though, her message is guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. Now, much like with my other cards, I don't necessarily mean actual children. These could be children that are new to something, be it new to a job, new to a faith, new to a hobby. Whenever we are new to something, we are much like children where we need taught, we need shown, we need guided. So be strong and realize that you can help these new people in whatever aspect you are meeting them in, and know that you are strong enough to ensure a happy outcome for them, and strong enough to make sure that not only do you succeed, but strong enough to ensure that your new children succeed. And last but absolutely not least, our Moon and Pisces people, you have an upside down Astara. Her message is typically about fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. Have you been doing so much new that you've been forgetting to cultivate what you've got going on right now? Because it is very possible that the fact that you have been starting so many new projects, you might be killing your fertility in being able to ensure that the projects you've got going on now are healthy enough and sustained enough to be able to continue. So maybe instead of blocking yourself from ensuring that things grow and continue by starting a new project again, shelve some of the new projects or see how you can integrate them into what you've already got going on, so that all the things you already have going on can actually grow into something amazing. But that is all I have for tonight, guys. I do appreciate those of you that have joined or asked questions about anything. But this Chiquita needs to be back up in less than 8 hours to help get kids ready for school in the morning. So have a excuse me. Have a wonderful evening or day, depending on your time zone. And if you would like to join the 6 p.m. live that will be on Facebook, the link is in the comments for the bit.ly/See with Sam to be able to get notifications for that. Make sure to follow the page and all the others. Until next time, have again a beautiful day/night, depending on your time zone. And I look forward to seeing all of you again soon.